This is the beginning. And then there's one happy moment in Ramayana, practically speaking. Sita's wedding. One happy moment. And it's all downhill from there. Means they get married. And this is the message of detachment, right? That the marriage day, you're king for... Anyway, we won't go there. It's all perfect. Sita Swayamvar is perfect, right? Absolutely perfect. And then from that point on, it's just one struggle after another. One separation after another. He comes back to Ayodhya, ready to take the kingdom, and he's banished into the forest for so many years. Then Bharat comes to get him back, and Lord Ram sends him away with his chappals and says, no, I cannot come back. He says, okay, I'm going to live like a pauper. I'm going to live like a ascetic outside of the kingdom. I won't even live within the city. And then Lord Ram spends 13 years in the forest. Wonderful years in the forest. How many stories do you know about the 13 years they went by? Nothing, right? Those happy years? Ramayana. What do you hear about next? You hear about Ravana, Shurpanakha, and Khar and Dushan, and all the problems begin, and then Sita is taken away. And all the story of Ramayana happens there. Again, he is victorious. He kills Ravana. One moment of potential happiness, and Agni Pariksha happens. The whole mood is destroyed. Then, okay, again, they sit on the flower airplane. Now we're all together. We come back to Ayodhya. They are coronated king and queen. Lord Ram rules for 10,000 years. What do you know about those 10,000 years? Nothing. Right? It was perfect. That's all we know. It was perfect. Next thing we hear about, Sita's again being banished. Means, from a material perspective, do your duty, even if life is that difficult. From a person trying to achieve liberation, my God, get out of this material world. This is what you're going to have to face. Everywhere, every turn is going to be miserable. And from a devotee's perspective, start to finish, it's so joyful, Ramayana. Every moment the devotee tastes, how is the Lord's relationship with his devotees? What is this viraha bhav, this love and separation? And in that mood of separation, Krishna is more present than when he is present in union. Because the devotee's remembrance of the Lord is more intense. And when the devotee remembers the Lord, Krishna is present. So, the paradox of this devotional service is the more Krishna is absent, the more he is present. At the level of pure bhakti. And this is why Krishna disappears from Rasa dance. And this is why the Ramayana story happens. And so, there's a long answer to your question.
Thank you so much.
3 different morals. Depending on whatever level you're on, you can choose the moral.
So when we discuss the example of the Ramanas and the Ramanas, most of the times the sadhana bhakti that we are doing, though we have to do with the mode of bhakti, we tend to do it as a ritual. So how do we make sure that we are like the Brahmana wives and not like the Brahmanas?
Yeah, so the question is, how do we make sure we're like the Brahmanas' wives and not like the Brahmanas? Because so much of what we do in bhakti is often we do it on the level of ritual. And that's a very good observation. It means, it's a fact. In our practice of bhakti, it's not 100% ritual. What happens is we do something and we begin that service with a lot of genuine desire to serve Krishna. And we get some reciprocation from the Lord. This is why we continue that service. But over time, then we take it for granted. And it becomes ritualized. And it becomes automated. So we think about the time when you first got your deities at home. Installation, and it was like, Krishna is there. Every moment you walked into your house, it was like, oh my God, I get to see Krishna. He's here in my house. And then something happens, and over time, he becomes a part of the decoration. I mean, not like that, but we start to lose the feeling of the Lord's presence there. And we have to avoid that. We have to prevent that from happening, So this is why connecting with the theme of this seminar, this is why it's so important that we constantly try to infuse our vision in our service with proper hearing. Because by proper hearing and chanting, we can prevent the mechanics, the physical actions from becoming mechanical. What happens is, because we are here in Kali Yuga and our consciousness is so dull and our memories are so short, over time we tend to forget. Our intelligence becomes weak and we tend to forget the reason and the motivation and the purpose of what we're doing. But by regular hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam, right, that Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, by rendering of service to Srimad Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to those who are Bhagavata, those who are devotees of the Lord, then Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtami. Bhagavatam says that is the formula for actually developing bhakti in our heart that is naishtiki, that doesn't go away. So we have some bhakti in the heart, this is why we're here. But the problem is it's not naishtiki, right? It's not nishtha bhakti. It's there and then we're like, it's like being in an ocean. We're above water for a few seconds and then we're under again. And then we struggle, we're above water for a few seconds, then under again. So it's not nishtha, it's not steady, naishtiki. So Bhagavatam gives us the recipe for it. It says, Nashta prayeshva bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavat yuttama shloke bhaktir bhavati. And Prabhupada explains, you know the word nityam bhagavata sevaya, the word nitya means what? Always. But you know how Prabhupada translates it? The word? Not uninterrupted. In many places he does, but not in this context.
Regular.
By regular hearing of classes on Srimad Bhagavatam. Very interesting. Means Prabhupada, he's Guru, right? He's explaining the practical application of it. Yes, okay, Nityam we should do 24/7, but practically speaking, we cannot sit with Bhagavatam 24/7. So he says, by regular attendance in classes on Srimad Bhagavatam. So we have to create a steady, regular schedule of study of Srimad Bhagavatam and service to the Bhagavatas, to those who are living Srimad Bhagavatam, the devotees of the Lord. Then Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. Then our bhakti will not waver. It won't descend into the realm of mere ritual. It will stay steady on the platform of bhakti. Yes.
In relation to the detachment you talked about, can we talk about the sakarma and the karma explained in Gita?
Say again the question.
In relation to the detachment you was talking about, right? In Gita it explains sakarma and karma.
Yes.
So you do karma but it is not attached to you. So
Yes.
Can you explain?
Yes. So the basic idea is that we have to do our duty, our karma, but we cannot be attached to the fruits of that duty. Actually, are you coming to tomorrow evening's class at Sunday Feast? No? Okay. So I'll give you a little, I'll discuss this in the evening's class. But here's the basic outline. The idea is, see, we cannot be attached to the results. At the same time, the results are what motivate us. And this is the big paradox. Without the results in front of us, how are we going to be motivated to do our duty to begin with? So, we have to have goals in life. There's no question about that. But being detached from the results of activities means that two things. When those results come home, when we actually get those results, then at that point, we do not claim them for ourselves, okay? Instead, we offer those results to the Lord, okay? Now, when the good results come, if the results are good, we don't take the credit for ourselves. And if the results are bad, then we don't beat ourselves up that I failed. Either way, we understand I did the best effort possible. The good results are Krishna's responsibility. The bad results are also Krishna's mercy. He's trying to teach me something here. That is the devotee's attitude towards the performance of one's duty. Is how to see both as Krishna's mercy, good results and bad results. Good results are His mercy because now I have something I can use in His service. Bad results are His mercy because now I've learned that I'm not the controller. He is the controller and I'm not the one who's the owner of anything. I was doing it for Him, it's up to Him whether He wants to give me anything or not. So that's the mood of karmanye eva adhikaraste from a devotee's perspective. That we do, that's what's called akarma, action without a new reaction. Okay, so I think we've gone over time already. I think we should stop here. And tomorrow, to just give you a little preview, tomorrow it's going to be focused specifically on, well, a couple things. One is that we're going to look at the main focus will be on Srimad Bhagavatam. It's how do we understand what is the main, essence of Srimad Bhagavatam. Jiva Goswami in the Sandarbhas, he gives a wonderful, wonderful technique for understanding the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam, its main point. And he gives for us 6 verses that he considers to be the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay? And he also explains why the Bhagavatam is the best source of knowledge in the world, why it's the highest pramana. So we're going to look at Jiva Goswami's arguments in relation to Bhagavatam. We will read those verses together. And then on a practical level, I want to talk to you a little bit about how we can incorporate Bhagavatam study into our own lives as a family. Assuming that most of us here are married and have kids and are grihastas. What is the practical way of incorporating Bhagavatam study into our own lives in a way that is enjoyable for the whole family and even engaging for the children and also beneficial for us as adults. Okay, so we'll try to have a little more practical discussion to see if after this seminar we can end by developing a regular regular attendance on classes on Bhagavatam, right? Like Prabhupada, like Bhagavatam itself is recommending. How can we do that practically? And so that's the plan. Tomorrow we have a single session only, 1.5 hours session, and then after that, a few hours later, we have the Sunday Feast class. So thank you. It's been a long day. I appreciate all of your careful attention.
Hare Krishna, I'd like to thank all of you for your patience, and most of all, I'll just take one moment to thank our hosts for today, Srinivas Thad Prabhu and Revati Mataji. They not only opened their house, but they opened their hearts to welcome all of us. They made their house available all through the day. So let us please thank Srinivas Thad Prabhu and Revati Mataji by 3 times chanting, Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hari Bol! And as Prabhu said, tomorrow morning the session starts at 11:30. I'm sure most of you all have the address where the program is. And we'll try to end by 1:30 because again we have the Sunday Feast class which will be given by Prabhu in the temple. So I request all of you, Prabhu has already mentioned what he's going to be talking on